Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans, from the Commander-in-Chief. Oh my God, I've still got the label stuck on this friggin' stupid red beret. Okay, why am I wearing this thing? Because one Julius Malema on Saturday talked to a huge crowd just east of Cape Town near Guguletu. And, you know, you have to hold the South African Human Rights Commission in extreme contempt when you hear what Malema said. Obviously empowered by their ruling, where he had done nothing. There was hate speech before. You know, it is. I've made some notes here which I'll be going through, and then I'm going to attach the entire speech by Malema, and you can see for yourself how racist, how many hate speech comments he makes, but he's now clearly working on the basis of the South African Human Rights Commission, who are a complete disgrace. Anyway, let me get rid of the stupid red beret because it's crap. I only do it to belittle the EFF. Okay, Malema starts off in this speech. It goes for a half an hour, as you'll see if you listen to the whole thing. And it's very interesting, some of the comments he makes, and you can hear for them firsthand. He says on the 8th of May, when the EFF take over power, a new African child will be born. Good luck with that. And attacking directly Ramaphosa, who's a xenophobe. He says, whether you are from South Africa, Zimbabwe, or Nigeria, we are all Africans and welcome here. And he goes on to attack, without saying so, the ANC. In the speech, he attacks the whites at every single quarter. He has clearly been emboldened by the ruling by the South African Human Rights Commission. You know, this is just a shocking indictment on how corrupt all levels of government, including those who are supposed to be looking out for all races, are. It's just crazy. He talks about the xenophobia in Durban. And he goes on to say, and this is an example, a highly racist comment, white people, yeah, get this, white people taught you to hate yourself, so you kill other Africans. So now he's passing the buck from Ramaphosa onto the white people for the xenophobia happening in Durban. He's a very, very shrewd and very, very disgusting man, this Julius Malema. And there's a huge amount of irony in some of the things that Malema says. For example, he says, computer labs and science labs at universities must have the latest information. This is white man's technology, isn't it? It's not black man's technology. So, Mr. Malema, guess what? You've just joined the club. Here we go. Pog Mahong. Kiss my ass, asshole. Bloody piece of crap. Sorry, guys, can't stand this guy. He is just absolutely wicked. And as you'll see in the comments that have come up that I've just made notes on, he is promising the black supporters everything, even though South Africa is basically bankrupt and could never pay for what he's promising. He is just buying votes. And like any lying politician, if the EFF got into power, he would say, oh, we have a crisis. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do the other. and he'd be squirreling away the money that Ramaphosa currently is squirreling away. You know, the one thing that you can look at with certainty is when it comes to a black government in South Africa, the level of corruption is endemic. It is right through the whole system. Okay, getting back to the comments that he makes, and I'm just commenting on. No child must pay for anything when it comes to education. Okay, so how are you going to pay for that, Malema? You're losing your tax base, which is the white population, and those who've got any money and earning any income and paying tax, they're flying overseas and they ain't coming back. And you black politicians and bureaucrats, you pay no tax because you are above the law. It is absolutely crazy. And Malema says too much money goes to politicians. Now, tell me, Julius, what happened in the Limpopo region? What happened to that company you ran, which was taking a cut from every deal from that municipality, worth billions of rand? Where did that money go, Julius? And what about the VBS Bank? You and Shivambu, both with your snout so deep in the trough, you nearly died because you couldn't breathe with all the money you were taking out. You are such a corrupt piece of shit. In internet terms, there's an acronym, POS, okay? That's what you are, Julius. And he goes on to say social grants must be doubled. And of course, he's only talking about black social grants. But again, where is he going to get the money? These are just bullshit claims that he's going to do if the EFF get in power. And of course, his adoring supporters are thinking, yes, he's going to change the world for us. Here's a wake-up call. He ain't. He's a lying piece of okay. He's a lying POS. Okay, let's keep it simple. And he goes on to say, we want the children of black people to eat better than the dogs of white people. Now, this is where this man is playing the race card. 1 in 4 white South Africans today is living in abject poverty. They are battling to get food, they're battling to survive, they're living in squatter camps all over the country, and here's this asshole saying that there's no one who's white who is in trouble financially or impoverished. You know, he is just disgraceful. And he says, we want a clinic in every area and it must be open 24 hours. You know what, Julius Malema? You have chased so many health workers out of South Africa that claim is impossible, because most of those health workers are white doctors. There are cities and towns in South Africa now that don't have one doctor. They have black nurses, and I have video footage of black nurses abusing patients badly because they are not qualified to do what they do. So your suggestion that you're going to have a clinic in every area, who the hell is going to man those clinics? You are such a lying piece of shit. Okay, from now on it's POS. Okay, guys? And he says, ambulances must be everywhere so that women giving birth to children don't have to be wheeled down the street in a wheelbarrow to get to a hospital. Who's going to drive the ambulances, POS? You've chased all the health workers out of the country. And then he attacks SARS because you cannot attack You cannot tax a widow's pension. And he goes on to say, when we take over the government, so now he's presuming he's going to be the new government in South Africa, God forbid, on the 8th of May, we are going to pass a law that says payments to widows from husbands' salaries cannot be taxed. Okay, so Julius, you know, Zuma with the 8,523 and 1 million and didn't know what the hell he was talking when it came to maths. Remember that famous statement by Zuma? He sounds intelligent when it comes to you, because here in one hand you're talking about paying out billions of rands to support your promises, and on the other hand you're talking about cutting down the purse by taking away tax payments by a huge percentage of your tax base. You are totally delusional. But it gets better. Now, look, we're talking about Julius Malema, who is just, you know, okay, he's a POS, okay? He says, every street must have a tarred road. Every house must have clean running water. We're going to build proper houses. They must have a bathroom with a flush toilet. And let's remember that a flush toilet is white man's technology. But of course, white man in Malema's eyes is a POS. Now, getting back to the funding all this, how is Malema going to fund flush toilets, tarred roads, clean running water in every black home in South Africa? This is just a completely nebulous lie. But it gets better. This is just a start, okay? He's got his crowds going, as you'll see, and they're all jumping up and down and saying, yes, Julius, yes, Julius. You know, you've got to be absolutely delusional to believe this guy. He says, and I'm not joking, he actually says this, and you'll hear it. He says, houses must have double brick walls so you do not hear what they're doing on the other side. Now, there are millions of squatters in South Africa who don't even have houses which don't leak through the roof, and they're corrugated iron and stuff like that. Once again, where are you going to get the funding for what you're promising, Malema? You know you're lying. You know, this guy is a complete POS. And he says, we are a government that loves black people. But right at the start, he says that, you know, we not only love black people, we love Indian people and colored people, and excludes white people from the equation. And the reason he's doing that is to try and sound like he's not a racist. And we know what he said about Indian people before, and we know how the coloreds feel about Malema. They hate him. He goes on to say, we want a government that will love all black people. And he says, this is a beauty. I mean, this really got to me, because, hey, I reckon this is going to be very interesting in the future, because there's a thing called payback with the blacks. You know, they hate threats to be levied against them directly. And Malema has said, if you want to see Zuma arrested, vote for the EFF. Put us in government. Zuma will go to prison if the EFF is elected. And guess what? He says Cyril Ramaphosa will be his cellmate. So they'll both be in prison. So you've got Zuma and Ramaphosa going to prison if the EFF take over power in South Africa on the 8th of May. And why are they going to be in prison? Because of corruption, stealing. Hello, is anyone at home? Hello? Porky Pie time. And I know this is normally my troll, but look at the noses. Okay? Look at the noses. Porky Pie time. Except those noses are far too short. With Malema, they should be about 50 feet long. Anyway. He goes on to say, we are going to arrest, if the EFF get into government, all ANC criminals. And he then goes on to say, the expropriation of white land counts for everything. And tonight, remember, 8 p.m. Johannesburg time, we're going to be talking about a far more impending issue for white farmers. And we're talking about a huge number of commercial white farmers in the Orange Free State who've been stricken by drought for many, many years. And they're now being targeted by the banks, which is very sad. And the final thing there are two final things that are very, very disturbing. The first is that he talks about the suggestion that EFF supporters should be fighting ANC supporters. He's suggesting that they should be going against each other. And you'll see that for yourself. And, you know, we've really got xenophobia happening in a number of places in South Africa, thanks to Ramaphosa. And now we got the EFF stirring up violence between his party and the ANC. It's quite extraordinary what's happening in South Africa. And finally, and this is the most disgusting thing of all, and it's a clear result of the South African Human Rights Commission. He sings the Kill the Boer song, but of course he replaces that word with kiss, doesn't he? Even though he talks about, you know, and all that. So, yeah, well, you can hear the song for yourself. But, you know, what's happening in South Africa right now is a complete disgrace. The political parties that are running the country, the ANC, the EFF, the BLF, in any other country in the world, they would not be able to be part of the political system. They are also racist, xenophobic, and corrupt. It is absolutely crazy. But look, I've said enough. Remember, 8 p.m. tonight, Johannesburg time, we have the live stream. I've given you so many links to the live stream. I'm not going to do it on this video. Here comes Malema. And if you listen to the whole speech, you'll see that everything I've said in this intro, he says. And you have to thank, largely, that racist body, the South African Human Rights Commission. They are a complete and utter disgrace. Okay, guys, take care. Remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and have a great day. And I'll see you tonight on the live stream. It's going to be a cracker.
The reason they are threatened by unity of colored Africans and Indians is because they know that when we are one, we will not be dominated by white monopoly capital. It is important to unite and see ourselves as victims of apartheid. Because whether you are Indian, whether you are colored, and you might think you are closer to whiteness, whiteness doesn't like you. It oppressed you before, it will forever oppress you. So we, as victims of apartheid, Indians, coloreds, black, we must treat each other as equal. We must protect one another. We must fight along each other for the empowerment of black people. Coloreds do not have land. Indians do not have land. Africans are worse. Without unity of purpose, we will never get our land back. We want this land back to be in the hands of our people. Comrades, we want jobs, and we want permanent jobs, and all jobs must not pay less than 4,500. Whether usebenza emakhitshini, whether we security guards, whether you are a cleaner, your job must pay well, your job must have a medical aid, your job must have pension funds. Because when you go on retirement, you must show your children that I once worked. This is what I came home with. Most of our parents, they come from Eastern Cape, they come from all over. Basila, a Western Cape to come and work. When they go back home, they go empty-handed. They don't have pension fund. They don't have anything to show that they've been to a workplace. So we don't want history to repeat itself with you. You must be a different generation. We are cutting a generational curse of poverty. We are cutting a generational curse of landlessness, of joblessness, of not having access to education. It is your time, African child, to shine, to feel pity about yourself as an African child. It must come to an end. The generational curse is going to end on the 8th of May. On the 8th of May, a new African child will be born, a child with possibilities. Must vote on the 8th of May. Vote along. If you don't know how to read, how to write, Maungena a voting station, you must tell the electoral officer, Size apa, Sfonum Saba. Asijogi ngalento yomhlaba. We are very serious. We want to ask our parents in the tent there, please, when you enter the voting station there, forget this thing yakuthi hayi sifuna umuntu omdala, sifuna uMandela. uMandela akekho. The ANC of Mandela is finished. Is the ANC of Zuma, is the ANC of Ramaphosa, is the ANC that killed our brothers in Marikana, 34 of them. Remember that on the 8th of May. You always funa umuntu omdala, sifuna umuntu omdala. Uzoyenzani umuntu omdala? Sifuna lo mfana bathi umalini. Uzogijima lo mfana. Masumthuma, he still has got energy. Let us take the young people to parliament. They will bring you the land. They will bring you free education. They will bring you a better life, not only for the politically connected, but for all Africans. Whether you are from South Africa, whether you are from Zimbabwe, whether you are from Nigeria, this is your home. This is Africa, South Africa. Stop your self-hatred. Stop attacking our brothers from Africa, our sisters from Africa. We are one thing. You say batata umsebenzi. Even if we expel them tomorrow, you will still not get a job. There are no jobs in South Africa because whites are refusing to invest money in South Africa. They've got too many savings in the bank. They've got trillions in the bank. They are refusing to take it out and build industries. There is no Nigerian who stole an industry and hired Nigerians only. There is no Zimbabwean who's got a farm in Neisner or Stellenbosch who hired Zimbabweans. It is your white people who hire Zimbabweans, pay them low so that you can fight amongst yourself as Africans. See them for what they are. They are causing divisions amongst Africa. Don't glorify these borders. Uti, hey, there is Zimbabwe, there is Nigeria. These borders were never here. These borders were imposed on us by white people who wanted to divide Africa and do what they wanted to do with this continent of Africa. I am ashamed today to call myself a South African. The image that are coming out of Durban make me to be ashamed. You are beating blacks, you are slaughtering Africans. I've never seen you doing that to a Chinese. I've never seen you doing that to a white person who doesn't have papers. I've never seen you do that to an Indian without papers. But once they say it's an African, because you hate yourself, because white people taught you to hate yourself, you kill other Africans. Stop that nonsense. It ends today. We must unite as Africans. If Mauti, I nyeke votele EFF because it defend amakwerekwe. Asifuni le vote yabo ye xenophobia. Hamba nayo. Try next door with their xenophobia. We will rather lose SG elections on principle. We must never compromise principle for political expediency. Let us die with our boots on. We are for Africans. We are for African unity. That is what will make us see a better tomorrow. Africans were there for us when we were facing difficult times. They are facing difficult times economically. Let us be there for them. Zimbabwe tomorrow will be a better country. Why? They've got their land. Once you remove sanctions in Zimbabwe, you are going to see Africans doing very well. Comrade, we want you to go to school in UCT, in UWC, in Pentec, everywhere, free of charge. You must not pay. You must not pay for registration. Registration for who, for what? These are our universities. Government must take that money they are stealing and pay for your free education. We want university to have more capacity when it comes to accommodation. No child must go and stay in the township where it is not secure. We want you to stay in the university. We want you to have security 24 hours. You must have proper food. The money we give you must buy you proper food. You must have books. The lecture halls must have an environment that is conducive for learning and teaching. The computer lab, the science lab, they must be equipped with the latest information, not some old apartheid information. We want modern education. La Philippi, we want all the no-fee schools to be really free. Because Bati is a no-fee school in January. Mamabona ama camera. When cameras go, they give you a list. Buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. When you combine everything you have bought, it's a school fees. So we want you not to pay a cent, not even casual day money. The money for polish must come from government. No child must pay for anything. Why do you say it's a donation? Why do you say it's a casual day donation? But if a child has not paid that donation, they don't get their report. It means it's a force. It means you are forcing them. It's not a donation. A donation must be voluntarily. A donation must be according to what you can afford. No principal must withhold the results of children who have not paid school fees. That is illegal. Any principal who does that here in Philippi, in Guguletu, in Nyanga, that principal is committing crime in Kailicha. Give the children the report. The children do not pay school fees. Go to their parents if you want money. It is not the parents who wrote the test. It is the children who wrote the test. They want to see how they have performed and how they can improve themselves. Fighters, we want to increase social grant. Double because they are not getting anything. That money they are getting is too little. Too much money goes to politicians, including the money for children. The social grants must be doubled because this thing of increasing the social grants with 10 rand, you are playing with people. Because even the dogs of Cyril Ramaphosa won't eat 10 rand. The dogs of white people have got medical aid. They've got grocery. There is no dog of white people without medical aid. So we want the children of black people to eat better than the dogs of white people. For as long as you don't eat better than white people's dogs, it means there is no freedom. This is a fake freedom. Our children must not only eat a proper meal when they are at school eating food of a feeding scheme. Even at home, they must eat a proper meal. Fighters, we want a clinic in each and every ward. And that clinic must open 24 hours. Because we are not only sick during the day, even at night, we must send them to a clinic. We want everywhere in this city of Cape Town for our people to have clinic. We are tired of women who are giving birth in their sheds. We want them to go and give birth in a proper, well-equipped clinic. We don't want women who are taken to a hospital or a clinic through a wheelbarrow. We want them to be picked up by ambulance. Ambulances must be everywhere. There should not be a ward without an ambulance. Because every ward here has got a voting station. If they can bring a voting station, it means they can bring a clinic there because they know we exist. Fellow fighters, all of this is going to be possible if on the 8th of May we do the right thing. Here in Western Cape, there are widows, the surviving spouses who are being taxed abnormal amount of money by SARS. Because these widows, their husbands have passed away. They are being paid the monies of their husband. And SARS demand a lot of tax from those widows. How can you charge the dead a tax? You cannot charge the people who are dead tax. That money which is given to the widows must be tax-free. We can tax the widows for what they are earning because most of them have left their jobs. Most of them have sold their houses because SARS is too heavy on them. When we take over on the 8th of May, we are going to pass a law that says the widows must not pay tax on the salaries of their dead husband. Because when you tax that money, it means you are taxing people from the graveyard. How can you tax people from a graveyard? How cruel are you as a government that tax the dead? We want widows to benefit the monies of their spouses without tax. Fighters, every street must have a tar road. Every house must have a clean running water. Every house must be proper. We are going to build proper houses. It must have a kitchen. It must have a dining room. It must have a bathroom with a flushing toilet. Not this bucket system of hell and zile. You must flush inside your toilet. We want you to have at least 2 bedrooms. Over a bedroom yabantwa and the bedroom of old people. So that when old people do their things, abantwana can hear the things of old people. We want a house that is going to bring the dignity of the family. Not built with 1 brick, but double brick so that you don't hear what the other ones are doing on the other side. A house of the EFF must make the young ones to be proud, so that when you got a friend at Cubana, you don't say drop me at the corner. It must be so nice, or not drop me at the gate. This is where I stay. We want you to be proud of your own homes, to be proud of who you are. We are a caring government. We are a government that loves black people. We are a government that is for black people. We are not a government that is going to perpetuate the pain and the suffering of black people. We will end your pain because your pain is the pain of the EFF. Black people have suffered for too long. They need a party that will take care of them. It's like we are a cursed nation, Mfundi. See, we are rejected. Black genocide is committed. We are being killed, and we are accused of stealing sunflower. They kill us and say they've mistaken us for monkeys. They kill us and say they've mistaken us for pigs. Everywhere they see a black face, they become angry. They shoot it with ease. They never go to prison. What type of crime have we committed? What type of sin have we committed to be hated so much? When there is a job of digging trenches here in the township, is done by black people. When there is a job of collecting porta is done by black people. When there is a job of picking up rubbish is done by black people. If a problem of jobs is a national crisis, why does it only affect black people and not the whole nation, black and white? We are a rejected nation. We are the most hated nation. We want a government that will love black people. When in loving black people, it doesn't mean we hate other people. Mauti, I love my wife. It doesn't mean you hate other people. We are in love with white people, with black people. And we can't cheat on black people with white people. We are not for any other thing. We are in marriage with black people. We are loyal to this marriage with black people because we will not leave them. Because if we do so, they will not have anyone to go to. They've played with us for 25 years. Till today, the ANC failed to deliver a better life for all. They must know that when we take over government, first thing first, Zuma prison. That's where it's going. If you want to see Zuma arrested, vote for EFF. And then a cellmate of Zuma, Cyril Ramaphosa. They will be together. That one for stealing money from Ghana, this one for men. And then they will be followed by Nomvula Mkonyan, Busasa, Hak Prison. Then don't forget Batabile Damin, Sasa, Hak Prison. Malusiki Gaba, imagine this in your mouth, you will do it in prison. They will do those things of mouth to mouth in prison. We are going to arrest all these criminals because they have caused you pain for 25 years. They will regret why they played with black people. Mounted to voter, go to the ANC temple and show them a finger, or your time is coming now. You are going to change one by one. Mabati Senzeni, what you played with black people, that is a serious crime. We are going to arrest you for that. Anyone who steals from black people, anyone who doesn't deliver services to black people is a criminal, must be locked up in jail for a very long time. They don't belong amongst us. They are like rapists. They are like those who are selling drugs here in Western Cape. All of them must go to prison. We must stop worshipping the drug lords. We must stop being scared of the drug lords. The EFF is not scared of anyone, including the underworld. We are going to arrest them and restore peace here in Western Cape. We are going to deal with gangsterism that is claiming lives of innocent black people here in Mitchell's Plain, everywhere else in Western Cape. Gangsters, we are going to finish them because we have got no time for gangsterism. Asbasabi, we are not scared of them, whether you are a drug lord, whether you are a gangster boss. After the 8th of May, you will meet your match. We are ready for you. We are going to clean the streets of Western Cape. Comrades, La SARS, they've hired a commissioner who is a friend of Trevor Manuel, because this government is run by friends. It's Cyril Ramaphosa, it's Trevor Manuel, it's Pravin Gordhan. They are running from Stellenbosch with the Rupert family. When we said Trevor Manuel has hired his friend, his partner in the SARS, he said he was going to sue the EFF. I want to tell Trevor Manuel that we are not like that journalist you beat up with an umbrella in Polokwane. Here you have met your match. Bring it on. We are ready for you. You are not scared of anyone, including Trevor Manuel. Trevor Manuel thinks we are these ANC clowns that egg walk around him. We don't egg walk around anyone. Trevor, they are running this country for the benefit of white minorities. After Zuma, you thought Zuma was worse. You have not seen the worst. This is just the beginning, where the families of white people, the Rupert, the Oppenheimers, with their co-opted black people, are going to be controlling everything unless we stop them on the 8th of May. Wabatana abalungu usere. Usebenza nabalungu usere. So we don't want that. We want a person who's going to be pro-black people. Comrades, when we take over government, the free education in higher education is not going to be something that looks like free education. It has to be real. It has to be proper. And that's what the EFF will do. all those who have not received their results because they did not pay their fees, after the 8th of May, we are releasing the results into the hands of those learners. Why? It is the results that stands between them and employment. And once they get employment, they will defeat poverty. We want the black child to defeat poverty. You know, when we speak in EFF, we don't just speak, we do it. We came here in 2014 and we said, take us to Parliament to stop Nkandla corruption. We even did a poster in 2014. We are coming back to you to tell you we've finished the Nkandla corruption the way you have sent us. We said to you, free education, it's happening even though it's not happening to our satisfaction. We said to you, minimum wage. Parliament has passed the law on minimum wage. We might be fighting on amounts. We said to you, land will be expropriated without compensation. Parliament has taken a decision that the constitution must be amended to allow expropriation of land without compensation. We did all this before we were government, just from the opposition benches. We said we want securities to be insourced everywhere. In Johannesburg, in Tshwane, the securities are insourced because there we've got influence. We increased their salaries from 3.5 to 7,500. They now have medical aid. They now have pension fund. We want it to happen here. We fought for the workers in UCT, in UWC, in Pentag and everywhere else, that the workers must be insourced. The universities are insourcing the workers as we speak because of the EFF. Elect the EFF on the 8th of May. On the 9th, in the early hours, you will see the showers of rain. The ancestors will be welcoming the victory of their children, because the victory of the EFF is a victory of our ancestors. Masitis Lwelumhlaba is not our fight. You know Chinese movies again. Barry, you killed my parents 200 years ago. That's what we are doing now. You took the land of our parents 300 years ago. We want it back. We are not fighting our battle. We are fighting a battle of our ancestors. Our battle is still coming of data. Our battle is still coming of fourth industrial revolution. All of that will be automatic once we get the land, because the land comes with everything. 8 May, young people, please don't drink alcohol on the 7th of May. Please don't drink. You must wake up sober and be the first one at the voting station. You must say, I am here to reclaim the land of my ancestors. When you are done, go and collect everyone. Tell them to go and vote, because the future belongs to the youth. It is in your hands. If you don't vote, your future will be a future of unemployment. If you don't vote, your future will be a future of homelessness. So you can decide what you want to do with your future. Mandela left you with a powerful weapon. When you use that weapon, there is no blood on the floor, but there is a proper change that is going to be ushered by your cross. Your cross is your weapon. Use it to deal with corruption. Use it to deal with poverty. Use your cross to return the dignity of African children. Fighters, don't be lazy here in Western Cape. House by house. Whether they are wearing ANC t-shirt or not, we talk to them. Whether there is a flag of the ANC, Siangena. Even at Guguletu, siyangena inside the family of Tony Engeni. Siyangena Abu Squatter, siyangena. Zizi God was home, siyangena. Don't judge the book by its own cover. Those ANC people are killing each other. You don't know what you will get when you enter these houses. Go and try. Never leave a house. Even when they chase you away, the following day you are returning. Because you don't know, maybe something might have happened last night and they changed their mind. Fighters are not cowards. In the EFF, we don't want cowards. In the EFF, we don't want lazy bastards. We want hard-working soldiers who are going to occupy the streets of South Africa. Let's turn South Africa red. Amanda! Amanda! Viva EFF, viva! Tata EFF, tata! Tata EFF, tata! Ngena EFF, ngena! Ngena EFF, ngena! Forward to victory, forward! Forward to victory, forward! Woza 8 May, woza! Woza 8 May, woza! Auno makubi! Siyaya! Siyaya! No makubi! Siyaya! Siyaya! No mabese tugona! Besishaya! Besibopa! No mabese tugona! Besishaya! Besibopa! Gubi, gubi, oh! Siyaya! Siyaya! Gubi, gubi, oh! Siyaya! Siyaya! No mabese tugona! Besishaya! Besibopa! Who left? Who right? Yes, sir. Who left? Guitar. Killer man. Iwata. Rumbo. Rumbo. As a child. Where were you when I'm drunk? Where were you when I'm shit? So fast, kitchen. Emoye. So fast, kitchen. Etate. Kichima. Kichima. Sibram Kondo Alliance. Sibram Kondo Alliance. Shoot to kill. Yamansa. Shoot to kill. Killer man. Kiss the poor. The farmer. Kiss the poor. The farmer.